On your screen, you'll see a list of agenda items that we plan to cover during the session. We'll discuss the program, admission requirements, and hold a question and answer period at the end of the session. To ask a question, just type it in the text box found on the bottom left-hand side of the screen like this. Feel free to type your questions into the box during the session. We'll address your questions at the end of the presentation. We are recording this session. The recorded session will be placed on our website for future reference. And we'll also provide you with a link to the recorded session in an email that we'll send out in the next few days. Now I'll go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Severt to tell you a little bit more about the program.
Well, good afternoon. Like I said, I'm Dr. Severt, and I oversee the program. This program is a 30-credit-hour program. It is really designed for both the working professionals in the hospitality industry, but also people that may not be in the industry or just entering the industry. So either way, this program is designed to meet both of those needs. The typical student works full-time. We have about 80% of our students that work full-time. They either take 1 or 2 classes a semester, and I'll go over some of the courses here in just a bit. But like I said, most of our students do work full-time. The age ranges are from 22 to 55, so there's a wide variety of backgrounds that are taking these courses. Personally, I think it's more interesting because you get to hear about other people's experiences, which is an added value to the courses. We have people from all over the United States. Recently we've had anywhere from, of course, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, California, Florida, Wisconsin. There's just, people are all over. We have a lot of military too, so not this semester, but last semester we had some people that were stationed abroad as well. Like I said, this program is a 30-credit-hour program. All the courses are online. We have some leadership and management courses. We have 2 different tracks for students. We have a thesis track and a non-thesis track. The difference between the 2 is that for a thesis, you would do a thesis, you would take 24 credit hours of courses, and then you would take 6 credit hours of research hours, and that allows you time to really work on your thesis. You take those thesis hours your last 2 semesters. The non-thesis credit option is that you take 30 credit hours in coursework, and then you take a comprehensive exam at the end of your coursework. And you would take that comprehensive exam your last semester. Recently, we were ranked 18th in the world by CEO World Magazine, and another added benefit is our classes are taught by full-time UA faculty members. We do have one faculty member that is not full-time. He's an adjunct, but he is actually a retired judge, and he teaches our hospitality law class, and he's great. This program will take approximately 2 years if you're going part-time, or 1 year if you go if you're a full-time student. Sometimes we have people that take 1 class a semester, but they may take 1 class in the fall and 1 class in the spring, and then their summers are a little bit lighter, so they'll take 2 or 3 classes in the summer. So we're very flexible in that regard. So it really depends. Sometimes if you're only taking 1 class a semester, it takes a little bit longer than 2 years. But for those that are working full-time jobs and managing a lot of other things, it really tends to work well. We are also take applications year-round, so at any point you can apply to the program. So that's important as well. To tell you a little bit about our curriculum, we have We have a strategic management and hospitality course. We also have a seminar in hospitality management, which the seminar course really teaches you a lot. I like for students to take that their first semester because it goes into what's APA, what's a peer-reviewed article, it kind of gives you a background of some of the library resources that we have on campus and that are available to our online students. So you learn a lot of that in the seminar class. We also have a leadership class and a financial management and hospitality operations course. This financial management course is really, yes, it is a finance class, but at the same time, it's very hospitality related. All of the exercises and stuff pertain to hospitality settings, which make it a little bit more interesting. For our research track, you will take the research hours as I spoke with before. The RHM 599 is research hours. And actually, HES 509, the research methods, all students need to take that course. There is a prerequisite for that course. It is a statistics class. Now, some students come in to the graduate program taking, they've already taken a statistics class in their undergraduate program, but many students do not. So if you haven't, that's okay. You don't have to take one before you start the program. We also have it's a basic statistics class at the graduate level, and you could take that class and it would count as one of your electives before you sign up and take the research methods class.
Thank you, Dr. Severt. Now I'll go over the admission requirements. To meet the minimum admission requirements for this program, you must have a 3.0 minimum GPA overall, or for the last 60 hours of coursework. So that's a 3.0 overall or a 3.0 for the last 60 hours of coursework. You may also submit an acceptable MAT, GMAT, or GRE entrance exam score that is no more than 5 years old. Prospective students must also submit 3 letters of recommendation and a statement of purpose. Distance learning students pay a flat hourly tuition rate regardless of residency. The rate does not include any applicable course fees or books. You also have the option to purchase access to the Student Health Center and the Student Recreation Center. Unfortunately, you must be enrolled as a campus student in order to be eligible for athletic tickets. The College of Continuing Studies offers scholarships to students who are enrolled in Bama by Distance degree programs. To apply for scholarships, you must first be admitted to the university. The applications are accepted year-round, and scholarships are awarded each semester. As a distance learner, you will have access to the same resources available to campus students. You're eligible to apply for federal financial aid. Students eligible for military educational assistance may use their educational benefits here at the University of Alabama. Distance learners have access to all university library resources, including access to scholarly databases, assistance with writing and citation, tools and tips for research, and the Interlibrary Loan Program. In the next few days, you'll receive an email with information that includes important web addresses, resources, and contact information, as well as a link to the recorded session. I want to thank you guys for joining us again today. This will conclude the presentation part, but now we'll open it up for questions, and we'll be happy to answer your questions if you want to type it in the chat box below. Dr. Severt, as we wait for any questions that may come up, I do have a couple questions that I typically get from students who are interested in in the program. Can you tell us a little bit about the course format as far as like exams and assignments and how students get the course material?
Yes. Since all of our courses are online, most of them are, well, each one of them, it may be a little bit different, but for the majority of them, you have access at the beginning of the semester, and you'll have a course syllabus and a schedule. And so most of the time you have things due on a particular day of the week and at a typical time. For example, my course that I teach this semester, I actually have everything due on Sunday night. So all your assignments are due at that particular time. Each professor does it a little bit different. Sometimes, like for me, it seems like I teach the financial operations class, and I sometimes I try to work really closely with students as far as their schedules. I've had students that are traveling, or they know that they're having to travel for work in the coming weeks, and so they'll either work ahead, or if something comes up and they need to go away and they're not able to meet a deadline, then I typically give them a grace period. Some professors don't, some do. But for the most part, all of your work is online. You communicate with your instructor through Blackboard or through their given email address. And another thing is that there's tests. If there's some tests are just online, but other tests, like your comprehensive exam test, that would be proctored, and we can provide more information about proctoring exams and who is available to do that for you. And another thing I'd like to say is that we also have a lot of different opportunities for students. Like there's a hospitality graduate conference, and we have had the last few years several of our students submit papers to that conference, and they have gotten funding from the graduate school and from our department. So it really helps in their registration, housing, and transportation fees. So it's almost completely covered for the students, and that's always an exciting time to do as well. I think we have a question.
We do. Jamie asked, do courses need to be taken in a certain order?
No. The only prerequisite course is the research methods that you need to take a statistics class before you take that class. Otherwise, we have, you can take any course at any given time. We do require that you take 18 credit hours of hospitality classes. And then you would have the research methods class, and then you would have 3 elective courses. Now, we do have certain classes that are offered in spring and certain classes that are only offered in fall. So let's say that you start in fall, you would take those courses that are offered in fall, and then in spring, let's try to get those courses that are only offered in spring. And then in the summer, if you take summer classes, we have, typically the students take their elective during the summer, or their research methods, or their research hours, or something like that. We do have one class that's kind of an independent study class. It's RHM 592, Special Topics. And that course is really designed so that the student can really dive deep into an area that they're interested in. So we've had students that do something in meetings and events. We've had students that do something in yield management. We've had students do something in restaurant operations. So it's either a special topic that you choose, or if you can't figure something out, then we will help you do that. So that course is really good for the summer as well. Is there another question?
Steph asks, what would be the process for someone who has no background in hospitality industry or an undergraduate degree? Dr. Severt, can you hear me?
Yes. There are, we recommend that you have some background.
Okay.
I'm sorry? Can you hear me? Oh,
yes,
okay.
ma'am. We can hear you.
If all possible, having some background is best. If you do not have any background whatsoever, I would suggest setting up a phone call with me so we can discuss it. Sometimes it has helped students to take a couple of our undergraduate courses to see if that's what if this is really what they want to do before they commit to it. But I would suggest calling me and setting up a time for us to really discuss what your particular situation is, because every student is different.
Jamie asks, will we have an advisor to help us map out our coursework?
Yes, and that person is me. So what I do is every semester I do a plan of study for everyone when they get into the program or their first semester, and then we kind of map it out. Of course, it changes based on the needs, and things come up in people's lives. So we map it out, and then you really just check it off, and it's amazing how fast it goes because it's only 10 classes. And so people can really get through quickly, and they're always amazed. Oh, I can't believe I'm finished. But yes, I would be your advisor at this point, and I walk you through the process of which classes and the order in which you should take classes.
Seth asks, would those undergraduate courses be available online?
Yes, we do have some online hospitality courses.
If you guys have any other questions, feel free to go ahead and type those in while we wait for any more questions. Dr. Severt, I do have another question. Do you have a preference for your letters of recommendation? And also, is there anything in specific you're looking for when it comes to the statement of purpose?
The letters of recommendation should be someone, maybe an employer or a professor that you've had. It shouldn't be a friend or someone that you're really close with, as far as, one of your family members or something like that. It should be a professional relationship. So I would say university professors or employers are good as well. And as far as your statement of purpose goes, that is the one thing that I love to read about with students, because it's your chance to put some personality into your application. So it's really nice to hear your story. Your statement of purpose should include things like, why you think you're prepared for a graduate program, what has led you to deciding about entering a graduate program. And typically people put some things about themselves personally that really, lets the admissions committee kind of learn who you are. And that's my most exciting part of your application process, to be honest.
Thank you. If we don't have any more questions, that will conclude today's session. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. On the screen, you'll see the contact information for myself and Dr. Severt. So if you have any questions that come up in the future, please feel free to give us a call or email us. We'll be happy to assist you guys. Thank you, Dr. Severt, for being a part of this session. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and roll tide.